Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome to another Magic Arena Explorer video. So today we're back with a little bit of Jace Valky combo, but we are running it in a slightly different Dimir shell, which also makes use of some other cards which are pretty good when plotted. So just a reminder for what happens with this combo is it runs the new Jace Planeswalker. So this is a 2-mana, 3 loyalty Planeswalker that can't be cast during your first, second, or third turns of the game. +1, draw a card, then discard a card. +1, you may exile an online card with mana value 3 or less from your hand. If you do, it becomes plotted. -6 until end of turn. Whenever you cast a spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. So with Valky, God of Lies, you can plot it because its converted mana cost is only 2. But when you then go to cast it for free on a later turn, you can cast the Tibalt side of it. So you can essentially cheat Tibalt Cosmic Imposter into play, which is a very powerful 7-mana Planeswalker, and then just start making use of all of its various abilities. So we've played this combo before. It's very powerful if you can make it happen. Obviously, you do have to protect the combo a little, so it's not just an auto win. But it's a very interesting card. Then another card that we can plot using Jace for similar kind of extra value is See the Truth. So this is a 2-mana sorcery that says look at the top 3 cards of your library, put one of those into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So fairly standard kind of impulse effect. And then if this spell was cast from anywhere other than your hand, put each of those cards into your hand instead. So you essentially draw 3. You don't actually draw, so that is worth bearing in mind in terms of if the opponent has something like Narset Parter Avails, you don't draw the cards. So it's not shut off by those kind of effects. So See the Truth essentially becomes a 2-mana Ancestral Recall. And then obviously if it's plotted with Jace, then it's not being cast from your hand, so you do get that additional bonus. And we're also running 3 copies of Arcane Proxy, which is a 4/3 for 7, although has prototype of 1 and 2 blue. When it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, exile target instant and sorcery card with mana value less than or equal to Arcane Proxy's power from your graveyard. Copy that card, you may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. So similarly, if we copy See the Truth using Arcane Proxy, which we can do using its 3-mana mode, then we can also get the 3 cards from See the Truth as well as playing many of our other good spells, removal spells and the like from the graveyard. So there's lots of fun interactions and powerful interactions with Jace Reawakened in this deck. So we're just kind of taking the initial concepts that we've played before and just kind of building it further out and trying to get more value off it. And then the rest of the deck does play a little bit like a Dimir Control / mid-range shell. So we have our 4 copies of Fatal Push and then 3 Thought Seizes. Those are our 1-mana black spells. We've seen these obviously many times before. They're kind of the nuts and bolts of any black deck in the format. Then we have our counterspell package, so a couple of negates for non-creature spells, and a Phantom Interference, which is a relatively new card, a spree card, so although it's technically in the 1-drop slot, it more often than not costs 2, potentially 4, if we are kind of running out of things to do, but pay 2, counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. Then we have some more removal with 2 copies of Shieldred's Edict and a Bitter Triumph. Then our 3 drops are 2 copies of Narset Parter Avails, which is a pretty standard inclusion for Dimir Control. Helps dig us into our powerful instants and sorceries and other non-creature spells. So it can fetch most bits of our deck. It can fetch the Jaces, it can fetch the See the Truths. A couple of quick studies, so instant speed card draw. Very good card to be plotted as well, just because you get the value off it. It's a 3-mana card that you can then cast for free. Then we have a mass removal spell with 1 copy of Extinction Event, 2 Shieldred the Apocalypse, very, very powerful black mid-range card, and then 3 copies of Arcane Proxy that I've already talked about. Then in terms of our mana base, so it's a little bit complicated. So we've got a lot of dual lands, but of various different types. So obviously the full 4 Watery Graves, a few Dark Slick Shores, and a Shipwreck Marsh, 2 Underground River. We are running 1 black-blue creature land as well with Restless Reef. Good way of just attacking through mass removal and doing a bit more damage. And a 4/4 with Death Touch is pretty good stats. We are running a couple of Haunted Ridges as well, just for the red mana if we do want to cast Tibalt hard cast from our hand, just to give us that option. One Field of Ruin, then a few basic lands, a couple more creature lands with Hall of Storm Giants and Hive of the Eye Tyrant, and then our utility lands with one Otawara, one Castle Lochthwain, and one Takenuma. So the mana is a little bit on the spicy side. We will need black mana more often on the kind of early turns than we need blue mana. And although it's always worth bearing in mind that although Jace is a double blue spell, it's realistically actually more of a 4-drop up here, and you're more likely to have double blue on turn 4, so that's less of a concern. Then in the sideboard, we have one Pithing Needle, so shutting down any particular cards that the opponent may be running that has activated abilities. Test of Talents, this is a good additional counterspell to bring in against decks which are kind of reliant on one particular spell, like Creativity, just gets rid of all copies of it. Siphon Insight, so stealing cards from the opponent's top of their library. Unlicensed Hearse is targeted graveyard hate. Obviously, we do want to protect our own graveyard because we have Arcane Proxy. Blot Out. We've been seeing this quite a lot in sideboards. This is a good removal spell that gets around targeting and things like Vein Ripper and that kind of thing. Path of Peril. Mass removal spell for cheap creatures. Another extinction event. One Kalitas, Traitor of Get, so this is a very good life-linking creature for kind of holding off decks which are trying to do us lots of damage very quickly. 2 copies of the End, similarly a Scalpel, not dissimilar to Test of Talents, except for creatures and planeswalkers, removing all copies of that creature or planeswalker from the opponent's hand, graveyard, and library. And then another mass removal spell with a Meathook Massacre. So yeah, it's got quite a few similarities to Dimir Control, but it's kind of playing in a slightly different space, trying to get the most value as possible off Jace Reawakened. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how this does. Thank you very much for watching. Hit those like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already. Always appreciate the support. And we are moving towards Modern Horizons 3 now. That's only a few weeks away. So I'm quite looking forward to trying out some of those cards in Timeless, as well as keeping the usual scheduled Explorer videos. So there's plenty more exciting content to come. And the good thing actually about this particular set, although the various bonus sheets and things are kind of a mess when it comes to understanding the set and the wildcard cost, it has meant that we've been able to try lots and lots of new things, which is always good. So yeah, let's go on to the ladder. I think this hand's okay. It's not the best I've ever seen. Okay, a Witch's Oven. Another oven. Okay, they didn't play a cat, thank goodness. So I think I'm going to have to see the truth here and just try and find another land. Now you turn up. Well, let's fizzle the second mode of their Fable by just playing Narset.
Mind and body should move in unison, like wind and wave. Put thoughtfulness before action.
I'll take another See the Truth. Darn, they didn't forget.
You cannot see your folly.
Okay, that's not bad at all, actually. Let's pick off their 2-2. Have Jace in play. Plotter, see the truth. We're still a little stymied on mana here, which is frustrating, but... even if they just play Gigantha here, they're not really doing much. Not adding much to the pressure. Yep. That's A-okay. I imagine they probably have a Fatal Push in hand. They've probably got quite a lot of removals, so there's no point playing Shieldred at the moment. Right, well, let's start with See the Truth. Underground River... Don't know why I decided to sing that, but I'm sure you all enjoyed it enormously. Draw and discard. Have a sneaky peek in their hand, I think. Yeah. That's fine. Let's just pass the turn and see what they do. So I might push their hive while it's a creature. Get that out of the way. They can kill both my planeswalkers here. Interesting that they're leaving Nasa.
I can't falter here.
Okay, that's Witch's Oven number 3. Let's just hope they never get close to having a cat. I'll have another Jace in play.
Pieces are scattered, but each one has its...
Plot another See the Truth. Pass the turn with Bitter Triumph available for their Gigantha, or their Reflection, depending on what they do. Yeah, sure. Okay, well, in which case, let's Bitter Triumph there. Harvester. Take it out from under them. Draw 3 more cards. That's not the best, but suppose we should play Shieldred the Apocalypse, given the chance. Now I shall just hold up Phantom Interference. I will take the block here. Because I have another Shieldred. Yeah, our draws haven't been brilliant the last few turns. A Valky would be very nice here. We're just lucky they haven't drawn any cats, to be honest. Okay, Fatal Push it is. Down goes Narset. Yeah, let's counter that, I think is a pretty good shout. Probably not going to be able to use that again, so... Right, that's pretty good. So... Tibalt. Exile their Reflection of Kiki-Jiki.
I can work with that.
Yeah, we don't get the value off it, but it gets it off the board. And now we just chill, I think. Hopefully with Tibalt knocking around the place. Ooh, a Fable's pretty good. Gives us something to do with our excess lands as well. Yeah, this is a very welcome development. Very happy to take this trade. Tibalt just takes 1 damage.
Go fight someone else.
Another Den is pretty good, but we'll draw with Lochthwain. Let's ditch both these lands. Redraw for 2 more lands. Okay.
Past, present, and future are bound. I have just the trick.
That's a good one to pick up. I think I'm just going to stick Hall of Storm Giants in play, just because it gives me another creature to play with. Things are looking pretty spicy for us here. Push that. So yeah, we're pretty odds on to win this game, I would say here. Okay, unlucky witness can draw them into some more cards, I suppose. We'll start with Tibalt. Deadly Dispute's not terrible, although not much to do with it at the moment, so activate Narset.
Meditate and prepare.
Grab another Jace, perhaps? Yeah, that seems decent. Okay, I like Arcane Proxy here. So I think I'll cast that for its full 7 mana. Bring back See the Truth, draw 3 cards. Have a land. I think I'm fine to pass the turn here. See what they want to do when they sack their unlucky witness. Yeah, not hugely fussed about them thought seizing me here. Not a cat. Ugh. Okay. Well, that gives us something to think about, at least. Because we're now taking a fair bit of damage each turn. But at least I can start copying Mayhem Devils, or Arcane Proxies, indeed. How many cards have I got? 20. We'll have to be slightly careful with my library here. Okay, it's not doing us much good, so we'll start with a Jace draw. Another Proxy. Let's copy this Proxy. Oh, it's only if you cast it. Okay, well that's worth bearing in mind. Still, we got an attacker now, at least.
Surely you can handle a little.
Play our own Cauldron Familiar. That's good for a bit of land, at least. 17 cards. I think we're still alright to cast Quick Study here. Have a land. Send in our creatures. So we've got 6 mana to play with. I'll just pass the turn. Proxy will die. I'll do them 1 damage with my Mayhem Devil trigger. So at least they're not actually getting any progress in terms of life total here. In fact, they will be losing more life than they're gaining. Cool. Yeah, no, they weren't. I don't think they were going to get out of that one particularly easily. So, Elitus, I think, is good here, just because it exiles their creatures when they die. Path of Peril is is very meh. I'll put in the end. And Pithing Needle can shut down Witch's Oven, so I think that'll probably do. And I will take out Shieldred's Edict, and probably our negates as well. Okay, we're back on the draw. I'm not thrilled by this hand. This one's better, though it needs a little help. I think the opponent's on the Malta 5 here, so that's encouraging. Dark Slick Shores it is, ready with Fatal Push. Yep, that's a good target for the push. Shame I can't counter that. Okay, there's some pretty good draws for the opponent there. I'll probably take my... What would I do? Take Quick Study, maybe? Or the End, depending on what they've got. Yep. Okay, well at least I get to keep my Quick Study and draw 2 new cards. Alright, well let's push their Cauldron Familiar. Bitter Triumph their token. Another Quick Study. Well, let's just pass and chill. No discard. I don't love it. Yeah, you can take one of my Quick Studies, but I'll keep the other. Not thrilled by that, I have to say. Okay, well let's play Field of Ruin. Just wait to destroy one of their hives. Yeah, Unlucky Witness. Plus Fable is not a happy combination for us. Good lord. Okay, let's draw with Castle Lochthwain. It's not looking good. This is a pretty grim state of affairs. It's just got much worse. Okay, let's scoop this one up. Put back in Negate on the play. Take out Quick Study. I think that will do fine. Yep, this is a good hand. Nothing going on there, eh? Fair enough. Well, that I can kind of live with. Yeah, if they want to use Bitter Triumph on Valky, that's fine by me. Is Proxy doing anything for us here? Not at the moment, so... Just wait a second, I think. And negate as well. Okay. Well, we've certainly got enough to protect ourselves for a turn or two, but nothing actually going on in our hand. Witch's Oven is fine. Yeah, have your ovens, I don't care. Okay, the end is not bad, so at least we can... Although with oven in play it's not great either, let's be honest, but... Yeah, I don't think we want that hanging around. Okay, well, I can set up a See the Truth turn here at least. What are you doing, Auto-Tapper, you absolute mad lad? No land is not ideal, but at least Kalitas is a card which will cause them problems later. Their ovens out the way. So I think I'm going to play Proxy now while they don't have any graveyard hate available to them. So I'll play See the Truth, draw 3. Well, these 3 different deadly disputes are fun, but not in themselves necessarily particularly problematic, so let's take their Mayhem Devil here. Jace, you are hereby reawakened. Put Tibalt into exile. Just pass the turn here. Somewhat annoying, this lack of land, to be honest. Okay, looks like they've got a push for my proxy. Oh well, at least with them doing me damage here, I'm going to have a very powerful turn next turn. Interesting they didn't choose to attack with Gigantha there. So let's play Tibalt. Exile their Cauldron Familiar, I think.
And away you go.
And play it. Also play Kalitas, or shall I just the end away there, Gigantha? No, I'll play Kalitas here, I think. Presumably they're going to use Takanuma. Yep. I think Mayhem Devil's a better target for the end anyway. Oh, this is turning into a long... We've been going now. Nearly 30 minutes. It's definitely advantaged me, but I have been through 19 cards and only drawn 5 land, which is not ideal. Okay, they're doing a setting up turn, which is probably good news for me. So let's chump. Start with Tibalt. Oh yes, Fatal Push is a good draw. How should I do this? Let's Fatal Push their token. And then are we just going to play the end on the Mayhem Devil, or are we going to wait and perhaps play Shieldred? Yeah, we have options here. Yeah, let's just get rid of their Mayhem Devil, I think. One, two, three. Thoughtseize does nothing for us here. Okay, Tibalt down. I don't think I'll bother sacrificing Kalitas for this. I would like to start generating some creatures with Kalitas. Okay, that's not going to do it, so let's just attack instead. Play Shieldred. Just pass the turn. I suppose at this point it's probably good to get 4 lands off the top of the library, but a swing and a miss was not ideal.
This was overwhelming.
Nothing particularly good that they can copy here, at least. Now there is. Okay, this could be a problem. Okay, what am I going to do here? Could just draw with Lockthwain. I think that's a good start. Okay, that's something of a relief. Arcane Proxy doesn't really do anything here, unfortunately. So they've kind of chewed away at my library, but let's take what's remaining in their hand. Okay, Fable's a good one to get rid of. Pass the turn. Shame, I was doing very well in this match, but recently it's turned quite far against us, to be honest. I desperately need some kind of removal if I'm going to stop this. Okay, well, See the Truth is a pretty good start, so let's start with that. Still no flippin' removal. Okay, well, let's bring another one back. Okay, well that stops the immediate problem. Because it means I can Reflection of Kiki Jiki. Now I can pass the turn. Okay, good, yes. Sacrifice your blood. Don't have Fatal Push. How long have I got left on my timer? I've got 15 minutes to go now, 7.5. Well, we're definitely going to end this game. I think this may be the first video where there's only one match in it. That would be a hell of a thing, wouldn't it? Cool. Yeah, we do lose Shieldred here, but I think it's worth it. They don't want to Thought Seize me. That's interesting. Ooh, Extinction Event's a good draw. Okay. So yeah, let's start with that. Odd. Now let's see the truth again. For another Jace. Ooh, Angrath's a fun one, but I am going to counter it. Now, let's start with Arcane Proxy, and I think I'll just cast it for 3 mana, because I'd rather have the mana available after I play See the Truth. How many cards have I got? 28. Okay, that's not bad. Restless Reef, Jace. Plotter. Actually, I might just plot another See the Truth and wait to play Valky for its full cost. Pass the turn. Now I'll use the end on Den of the Bugbear here, I think. Rid of the other one of those. Start with See the Truth. Into Tibalt. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Dark Slick Shores. Draw and discard. Pass the turn. Okay, I think we are in a fairly commanding position here. Discard Phantom Interference and Swamp. Hum.
Oh, so many painful memories.
Kill that. Draw and discard. I'm obviously playing quite loosely at this point because we are so far ahead. Now I will attack with both my creatures. Play Shieldred. Pass the turn. Okay. That match was 42 minutes. And my god, I felt every second of it. But I think it was a good one. Very swingy, very grindy. A good showcase for the deck as well. And a rare wildcard. So yeah, that was good. So, I mean, the The sideboard's gone weird again. The combo of See the Truth and Jace, or See the Truth and Arcane Proxy, is obviously a great one. Tibalt doing great work. Yeah, no, I think this is a really good deck. It's very resilient. It's very powerful. Maybe it needs a little bit more removal. There are a couple of times there where I was kind of desperately digging for something, and luckily Pithing Needle came in and a clutch there. Otherwise, I think we might have been in quite a lot of trouble. Yeah, they're very happy with that. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments. Yeah, one very grindy, long match, which is first time that's happened, but hopefully makes for an interesting video and a very sweetie game. But yeah, thanks very much for watching. As I say, hit those like and subscribe buttons to see more of this kind of content. Hopefully, shorter matches in the future, and I will see you next time.